Horror writers, this is your tarot energetic reading for November of 2024. I do want to remind you that your feelings are valid. You are going through something right now, or if you're not going through it right now, you probably will be. So just remind yourself that your feelings are valid, but you're going to want to stay with those feelings because there is a lesson to be learned from them, and you need to learn it in order for you to move forward. You got the Hermit card. You're feeling kind of alone. The Eight of Cups usually means is someone walking away from something that they truly love, but with it being in reverse, I read that as staying put. You need to stay put. The card at the bottom of the deck you have is the Six of Swords. It's also in reverse. I like to look at the Six of Swords as the refugee card, and the refugee card is usually leaving from a place of hurt, a place of abuse, and going to a better space, a better life. But because it's reversed, it feels like there's still kind of a message that you need to learn here. You do have two knights that are in reverse. One is the Knight of Wands and one is the Knight of Pentacles. It just kind of feels like there is no action and no movement that you can take right now. I think you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck. You do have the King of Wands in reverse. I like to think of him as the ultimate entrepreneur, but because he's in reverse, it kind of makes me think that you need to stay put and stay safe. Also that supports the Hermit here, staying alone, being cautious, learning things. You have the Page of Swords in reverse. Usually that's a message that's being blocked. However, what I wrote is more of internal thoughts because that comes right after the Hermit. So that's kind of how I got that. The Justice card is probably one that's really wanting to pay attention to. It just kind of feels like there's some checks and balances that are going on. There's some just desserts, maybe some actions that you've taken. You're finally actually reaping the rewards, or not even reaping the rewards, and maybe it's a punishment, and that's probably what you are trying to learn about what you did and how you got to where you're at. We have the Five of Cups, which means it's an emotional healing. We also have the Two of Wands, which is keeping probably your dreams more to yourself right now, and probably not focusing on so much of the outer world, focus more internally. So yeah, I just kind of feel like you probably have a lot of stuff going on right now. If not at the moment, it probably will be, and you need to stay put where you're at to understand what that message is. But remember, your feelings are valid. Just make sure that you learn the lesson. Now, before we do get into numbers, astrology, elements, and colors, if you've never met me, I'm Chris, and I use tarot cards to help writers get out of writer's block. If you are interested in learning how to read tarot cards, maybe get out of writer's block, connect more with your intuition, and finish projects faster, I run a writing community on my website called Flow Your Mojo, and for Black Friday, I am actually doing a 50% off coupon for the first 6 months of your membership, where you will be able to learn tarot cards, meet other writers, get into a more creative flow, and just kind of approach your writing from a different perspective. If that is something that you're interested in, please take a look down in the description box below, and we can, if you do have any questions, go down in the description box below and you'll have to see the promo code and all that kind of stuff. But if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm totally willing to answer any questions regarding that. Numbers are 9, 1, 4, 8, 11, 2, 2, 5, 2, 6. A lot of twos. So it does seem like there's a beginning of something, a beginning of a new thing. A little bit of balance, but again, still pay attention to a lesson that needs to be learned right now. Now, if you do add all those numbers up, you do get 50. 5 plus 0 equals 5. 5 in the major arcana is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is usually a religious leader, sometimes a teacher, also associated with tradition. So with your next moves, what I would do is more focus on traditional routes, maybe taking a class instead of just trying something all by yourself. Seek out a teacher. Maybe you need to be the teacher to somebody else. You need to teach someone a skill. That kind of a thing. So whatever's going on with this project or your writing journey, it just kind of feels like you need to be a little bit more traditional and not taking as many risks as you probably would have in the past. Again, you do have this this King of Wands in reverse, and the King of Wands is usually someone who likes to just throw spaghetti up against a wall and just see what sticks. But because it's reversed, I'm going to tell you not to do that and just to play things a little bit safer. Elementally wise, we have earth, air, fire, and water. You are actually all pretty evened out on all of the elements. You got 2 3s and 2 2s. The two major arcana cards that you did get were earth. It was the Hermit and Justice. In order to understand a little bit more about how you got to where you're at, I would really pay attention to Mercury, Virgo, Libra, and Venus. That will probably help you understand a little bit more about where you're at, how you got to where you're at. In order to address the feelings that you're feeling and to move on into your next cycle, the thing that I would do is focus on just journal. I would have a journal out and just focus on journaling and just brain dump everything that just comes to mind, whatever it is, even if it doesn't have anything to do with the project that you're working on. I just kind of feel like if you get rid of some of that, allow yourself to feel some of that stuff, release some of that stuff, you'll be able to move on into the next cycle, whatever that next cycle might be. Colors that you want to pay attention to are red and orange. Now, I got a lot of fire, a lot of sun. This is the card that's right in the middle of the entire board, so I just saw the sun as a lot there. You do have the sun kind of either making an appearance or going away here. You have the sun also, well, actually this is more fire, but this is fire going on around the King of Wands. You also have fire in the Knight of Wands. You also have a sun element in the six here, in the Five of Cups. You also have a sun there. So I really want you to kind of warm yourself up a little bit. It just kind of feels like you might be a little bit cold right now to yourself. Allow yourself to know that, your feelings are valid, and I would just use that in order to catapult yourself into the next cycle. I don't really have specific astrologies that I would use for you to pay attention to go into the next cycle. I'm wondering if Venus, Libra, Mercury, and Virgo will probably be able to tell you a little bit of that as well. So I do pull 3 extra cards for you. The first one is bananas. So maybe the last thing that maybe what you've been dealing with right now has been bananas and just bonkers, but also maybe you need to eat something. You also have wilderness reversed. Now, this seems to me more like clarity, and so I want you to probably approach the wilderness in reverse. It could also be just safety, because wilderness is kind of scary, and it could be get lost in the wilderness. So I want you to try to use this time to create some clarity for yourself. And here we have every side character gets their own novel, but the genre cannot be the same as the heroes. What genres are you now writing? So in closing, just as a reminder, I'm Chris, and I use tarot cards to help writers get out of writer's block. If you are interested in learning how to read tarot cards and get into more creative flow with your writing journey, please go down to the description box below. There is a link to join the Flow Your Mojo Writing community for Black Friday for a 50% off coupon for the first 6 months of your membership in order to do that. With that being said, please like, subscribe, follow, and share, and I will see you in the next one.